make sure there's a vote for Chuck. We need tenured, smart people that.
Hello, I'm trying to figure out how to make myself bigger. I can't see me. No, that's not what I want. I'll review. Oh, I see 3 people. No, I'm working. Speaker view. I can see Crystalline doing a pretty pose. Huh. Okay, Crystalline.
Hey. Hey, April, can you hear me?
Unmute.
Elizabeth.
Anybody?
Hey, sorry.
Do you know how to make my screen bigger?
Your screen?
You just want to see yourself?
And I can't hear you. Hold on. Good grief.
Do you just want to see
Why
yourself?
can't I hear you?
Charlotte and Austin said.
You talk again, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. How
Okay,
can
good.
my screen is real small and up in the corner. I see Crystalline in the middle.
Swipe to your left.
Swipe?
Yeah,
Swipe.
like literally swipe your whole screen. Or you know what? I've got my phone. It may be different. Are you doing this on a computer?
I'm
She's on a
a
MacBook Air and they're being really kind of funky about this stuff.
Ooh, because my iPad, you can press participants and it gives, or no, it's up on the upper left-hand corner of the screen. There's like a square with like little squares in it and it shows everybody, or doesn't show everybody.
Okay, see, like I've got that gallery view. Now I see everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, I would
Is
just
that
leave
it?
it
Is that
on
my
gallery.
only choice?
Yeah.
Okay.
It will show just you in the recording because everybody will be muted.
Okay. So I just need to go down and mute everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Laura's coming on, so you may want to say hi to her.
Oh, hi, Laura.
Yeah, I couldn't see who that was because my line. Oh, no, it doesn't
It says
show
Laura's
me.
connecting to audio.
There she is. Now she's muted.
Okay.
Hi, Laura.
Okay, so
Hi,
if I go
Laura.
to manage participants, I can mute,
Yep.
but there's no
Yeah.
way to just have me on the screen.
Not that I know of,
Okay,
but I'll look into it.
okay. Mute. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of a 101 classic. And so Elizabeth, wave at me if you can hear me. Okay, good. All right, we're gonna get started. So we'll start off in child's pose. Just taking a moment to settle in with your hips toward your heels, arms extended forward, forehead to your mat. Taking your awareness to your breath, breathing in and out through your nose, using the back of your throat. And then we'll move into a table, coming onto all fours. And just taking a moment, maybe you sway your hips from side to side, just kind of opening things up a little bit. Maybe you do a couple of cat-cows, belly drops, chest comes forward. And then curling your chin to your chest, rounding your back. And then come back to your table and we'll press back to down dog. Curling toes under, lifting hips up, pressing hips back. Feet are hip distance apart, fingers spread wide. Think about pressing down in that area between your index finger and your thumb. And then we'll tippy toe our way to the top, coming into a forward fold, allowing everything to dump forward. Maybe you sway side to side, nodding yes and no. And then we'll roll our way up, pressing your feet into the floor, head comes up last, coming into mountain pose or Tadasana. Feet are firmly planted, legs are strong, tailbone reaches down, shoulders are down and back. Think about pulling your navel in and up and growing through the crown of your head. Anjali Mudra, hands to your heart. We'll move into sun salutations. Inhale, arms come up. Gaze turns up toward the sky. Making yourself nice and long by pressing your feet into the floor, reaching your fingertips toward the sky, tailbone reaches down. Inhale, reach up. And on your exhale, begin reaching back for a small back bend. Inhale, come back to center, and on your exhale, swan dive. Coming back to your forward fold. And then we'll set up our first half lift. If your hands are at the floor, you can just slide them back by your feet so your fingertips are in line with toes, or you can just bring your fingertips to your shins. With an inhale, lift your belly away from your thighs, press into your fingertips, create length in your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale and squat, letting your hips drop all the way down by your heels. And on your exhale, round and curl, tucking chin to chest, reaching your forehead toward your knees, actively pulling in your belly to help you round even more. Inhale, look forward, and then step your right leg back, moving into a nice big runner's lunge. So left knee is over left ankle, right leg is strong and straight, heart extends forward. Pressing right hip forward, pulling left hip back. Palms come to the mat, step left foot back, moving into high plank. So your spine is nice and long from the top of your head to your heels. Your belly is pulling in, shifting your weight and your gaze forward slightly, getting ready for your first yoga push-up or chaturanga. Take a breath. On your exhale, lower down halfway, elbows in close. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, lower down halfway. This time on your inhale, sweep your hips forward, coming into upward dog. So the tops of your feet are on the mat. Chest is coming through your upper arms. Hips coming toward your wrists. Shoulders pressing away from your ears. Now lift with your belly. See if you can curl over your toes. Press back to down dog. Come up high on your toes, look between your hands, step right foot forward, heel, ball, toe, right knee over right ankle, left leg strong and straight, heart extends forward. Think about lifting the back of your left kneecap toward the sky to really straighten your left leg. Left hip presses forward, right hip pulls back. Push off with left foot and squat. Rounding, curling, pulling in your belly. Maybe pressing fingertips into the floor to help you round even more. Inhale, lifting hips to the ceiling. Exhale, folding forward. Getting ready for your half lift. Palms by your feet or at your shins. Inhale, heart extends forward. Tailbone reaches back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Reverse swan dive. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, swan dive. So we're moving through this side a little faster with our breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, squat. Exhale, curl. Inhale, look forward. Step left leg back, moving into your lunge. Hands to the mat, right foot back plank. Chaturanga. Chaturanga, up dog. Down dog. Come up high on your toes. Look between your hands. Left foot steps forward, heel ball toe. Push off with right foot. Step your feet together. Forward fold. Moving into your squat. Rounding and curling. Hips to the ceiling, forward fold. Half lift. And down. And then we'll roll our way up, pressing your feet into the floor, lifting with your belly, head comes up last, coming into Tadasana, taking a nice full cycle breath. Getting ready for half moon. Feet are firmly planted, legs are strong. Arms up overhead, fingers interlaced, index fingers extended, biceps by your ears. Chin is lifted slightly. Inhale, reach up. On your exhale, press your hips to the left as you lift and reach to your right. Feeling that big stretch down the left side of your body. Trying to make your arms straight. Think about pressing the heels of your hands together. Reaching your wrists toward each other. Pressing left foot into the floor. Both armpits facing forward. Throat is visible, so you may need to lift your chin slightly. And then we'll change, come back to center. Inhale, reach up, create length. Exhale, press hips to the right as you lift and reach to the left. Feeling that big stretch down the right side of your body. Pressing the heels of your hands together, making your arms straight, squeezing your head with your biceps. Pressing right foot into the mat. See if you can take it deeper, reach and reach. And then we'll change, come back to center. Getting ready for your first big back bend. Turn your gaze to the ceiling. Let your head and neck relax. See if you can bring your biceps back by your ears. Engage your quads. Pull in your navel. Inhale, reach up. On your exhale, begin reaching your fingertips back. Every inhale, lift and lengthen. Every exhale, reach back. Opening up your heart. Moving the breath up the front of your body. Pressing hips forward. Look back, fall back, reach back, and then we'll change, come back to center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward. Pulling in your belly. You can bend your knees if you need to, but you want to keep a nice long spine all the way down. And then walk out your hips at the bottom, bending right knee, right knee. Swiveling your hips, opening things up. Maybe squat a couple of times. And then we'll set up hands to feet. Feet are flat on the floor, knees are bent. Belly lays across your thighs. Arms reach around behind your legs so your elbows point toward the back. Maybe you can step your heels onto your hands, but make sure your elbows are still reaching toward each other. Face drops into shins. Get ready with a breath. And on your exhale, begin lifting your hips up, but keep your body pressing against your legs. Elbows squeezing toward each other behind your kneecaps. Crown of your head reaches toward the floor. Pulling up on your heels, body weight shifts forward into the balls of your feet. Pull, pull, pull. Try to straighten your legs. And then we'll change. Arms come back out in front of you. Biceps by your ears, bend your knees if you need to. Keep your arms up, turn to your right, or just step wider, moving into a 5-pointed star, preparing for warrior 2 and triangle. Right toes turn to the right. Take a breath. Begin lunging into warrior 2. Make sure right knee points over right big toe. Take a breath. Begin reaching to the right. Keep your chest lifted. Change your arms. Right arm comes in front of right knee. Left arm reaches to the sky. Tucking right hip under. Pulling left hip back. Maybe turning your chin to your left shoulder if that's comfortable for you. Left hip drops to make it go deeper into the pose. Actively reaching right fingertips toward right big toe. Left fingertips reach to the sky. And then we'll change. Come back to your warrior. Straighten right leg. Turn your right toes to the side. Left toes turn to the left. Take a breath. Begin lunging into warrior 2. Left knee points over left big toe. Arms are strong and straight. Squeezing your fingers together. Take a breath. Begin reaching out over left knee and then change your arms. Left arm presses against inside of left knee. Right arm reaches to the sky. Tucking left hip under. Pulling right hip back. I have a little bit of a hip issue on this left side, so I usually do a side angle. Right hip drops. Press for outside edge of right foot into the floor. And then we'll change. Come back to your warrior. Straighten left leg. Turn your left toes to the side. Arms up overhead. Step your feet in a little closer together, preparing for separate leg head to knee. And then spin around to the right. Pulling your left hip all the way around. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tuck and curl. Chin to chest. Hollowing out your belly. Fingertips come to the mat in front of right foot. Bend right knee as much as you need to get your hands to the floor, and then bend your knee even more to get forehead to knee. Actively pressing your fingertips into the mat. Pulling in your navel, pretending like you're trying to pull your navel through your spinal cord. And then we'll change. Press your feet into the mat. Lift with your belly, curl your way up, pause, and then spin around to the left. Pulling your right hip all the way around. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tuck and curl. Pulling in your belly, chin to chest. Fingertips come to the mat. Bend your left knee as much as you need to. And actively press your fingertips into the floor to help you round even more. Little sips of air in this pose. Think about allowing your lungs and your rib cage to expand out to the sides. And then we'll change. Press your feet into the mat. Lift with your belly. Use that core strength. Pause. And then turn to the right. Step your feet together. Arms float down by your sides. Take a breath. And we'll do it again. Ardha Chandrasana. Feet are firmly planted. Arms up overhead. Fingers interlaced. Maybe you cross opposite thumb on top this time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, begin lifting and reaching to the right as you press your hips to the left. Feeling that big stretch down the left side of your body. Now you want to go where you left off in that first set and then see if you can take it deeper with your breath. So on your inhales, lift and lengthen. On your exhales, reach further to the right, press your hips to the left, and then we'll change. Come back to center. Inhale, reach up like you're trying to touch the ceiling. Exhale, lift and reach to the left, pressing hips to the right. So we're working our obliques in this pose, which helps with your nice posture. Also working on your six-pack, you're trimming your waistline, toning your arms. Actively reach, reach, reach with your fingertips. And then we'll change, come back to center. Getting ready for your back bend. Gaze turn to the ceiling, head and neck relax. Biceps by your ears. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, begin reaching your fingertips back. So this back bend is from your upper spine. And if you feel any crunching in your lower back, that means you need to come out a little bit. But think about reaching with your fingertips, pressing your hips forward. Weight comes into your heels. And then we'll change, come back to center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinging forward, pulling in your belly. Nice long spine. Not taking as much time for the setup. So just walk your hips out a little bit. Maybe you squat. And then we'll set up second set Padahastasana. Feet firmly planted, knees are bent. Belly lays across your thighs. Arms reach around behind your legs. Maybe you step heels onto hands. Face into shins. Take a breath. And begin lifting hips up toward the ceiling. Pulling on your heels. You're really trying to straighten your legs here. So think about lifting hips up, pulling on your heels. Crown of your head reaches toward the floor. See if you can straighten your legs a little bit more. And then we'll change. Arms come back out in front of you. Biceps by your ears. Lift with your belly. Keep your arms up. You can just step out to the side or turn to the side, wherever position you have on your mat. Arms parallel to the floor. Right toes turn to the right. Take a breath. Begin lunging into right leg, warrior two. Take a breath. Begin reaching to the right. Keep your chest lifted. Change your arms. And actively press your arm against your right knee. That helps keep your knee in line with your big toe. Also gives you a little bit of a twist in your upper spine as you open up your left shoulder, reaching to the sky. And then we'll change. Come back to your warrior. Straighten right leg, right toes to the side, left toes to the back of your mat. Take a breath. Begin lunging into warrior two. Take a breath. Begin reaching out over your left knee. Change your arms. Reaching, reaching, reaching with both arms. No weight on your left fingertips, but actively reach toward your left big toe. Tuck left hip under, pull right hip back. Maybe turn your chin to your right shoulder. And then we'll change. Come back to your warrior. Straighten left leg, left toes to the side. Arms up overhead. You can heel toe in or just step a little closer together. Spin around to the right for separate leg head to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tuck and curl. Actively pulling in your belly all the way down. Forehead to knee or knee to forehead. Pressing your fingertips into the mat. That's really going to help you round even more. Now, if both legs are straight and your forehead is on your knee and you want to work on balance, you can bring your palms together in front of your right foot, keeping the blades of your pinkies on the mat. And then we'll change. Press your feet into the floor. Lift with your belly. Curl your way up. And then spin around to the back of your mat, turning to the left. Pulling right hip all the way around. I always like to give it a little twist. Make sure both hips are around. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tuck and curl. Like you're diving over a giant beach ball. Forehead to knee or knee to forehead. And again, if you have your forehead on your knee and both legs are straight, you want to work on balance, you can bring your palms together in front of your left foot. So this pose is great for balance. It's also a good core strengthener. Also stimulates your thyroid, which improves your metabolism. And then we'll change. Press your feet into the floor. Lift with your belly. Curl your way up. Pause to the left first. Then turn to the side. Step your feet together. Arms float down by your sides. Take a breath. Let's do awkward. Utkatasana. Starting with your feet together, take a small step out to the side so your feet are hip distance. It's always okay to bring your fists down between your feet. I actually do it every single time because for some reason I always step wider than I need to. Arms forward, shoulders down and back, fingers squeezing together. Take a breath. On your exhale, begin sitting back in your chair, pressing hips back, knees back. Weight comes into your heels, your toes are light. Trying to one day make your thighs parallel to the floor. So maybe you can sit a little deeper. Lift your chest. Keep your arms strong. Think about squeezing your muscles to the bone. Lift your chest, and then we'll change. Come out slowly. Keep your arms up. Second part, come up high on your toes, pressing your heels forward. Take a breath, and then begin bending your knees, staying high on your toes, reaching your tailbone down, pulling in your belly, trying not to lean forward or back. Heels up, heels up. See if you can sit deeper. Lift your knees up. pulling in your belly. See if you can sit a little deeper. It'll make your legs shake. And then change, come out slowly. Woo, I fell a little forward on that one. Third part, squeeze your knees and thighs together. Take a breath. Begin inching your way down. Heels pop up, bringing your hips down to your heels. And then point your knees down, scoop your tailbone under. Chest is lifted, trying to make your body like a nice three-sided box. Squeeze your fingers together, hold it and breathe. Nice long spine growing through the crown of your head. Now squeeze your knees and thighs together, take a nice empowering breath. Come out slowly to a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms down, feet back together, take a breath. Gargadasana, eagle. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bring right arm under left. Cross as high above your elbows as you can, bringing your palms together, or you might be grabbing a thumb or your shoulders. Take a moment to create length. Lift your chest, lift your elbows, maybe turn your gaze to the sky, and then bring chest and elbows back together, shoulders roll back. You can step forward on your left foot, or you can just squat where you are. But really bend your left knee. Keep it bent as you pick right leg up and over. Bringing right thigh on top of left, squeezing your thighs together, reaching your tailbone down, pulling in your belly, trying to level off hips and shoulders. Squeeze your right thigh against your left, squeeze left thigh against right. See if you can sit a little deeper, and then we'll change. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bring left arm under right, crossing as high above your elbows as you can, palms come together. Take a moment to create length, lifting chest, lifting elbows. Chest and elbows come back together, shoulders roll back. You can step forward on right foot or just squat where you are. Really bend your right knee, keep it bent as you pick left leg up and over. Squeezing your thighs together, making your legs like one big rope. Weight comes into right heel, tailbone reaches down. Chest is lifted, pull in your belly. See if you can sit a little bit deeper. And then we'll change. Inhale, arms up. Arms down. Take a breath. Get a drink of water if you like. I know when I'm leading these classes, I get a little parched. And we'll get ready for our balancing sequence. Starting with your strong left leg, pressing your left foot into the floor. Tighten up your quad so you may feel your kneecap lift. Tighten up your glute, pull in your belly, and then lift your right leg. So your right thigh is parallel to the floor. Your right toes are flexed. Take a breath. And then see if you can curl your way down and grab at the ball of your foot. And you always want to try to grab because eventually it will happen. But if it's not there today, you can bring your fingertips to your knee or come back to that standing position. If you're grabbing at your foot and your left leg is straight, maybe you can extend your right heel forward a few inches. What matters though is that your left leg stays straight. So if you start kicking out and your left leg starts bending, just come back to that right leg being completely bent again. Your goal is to one day make your right leg parallel to the floor. But again, it's bringing that leg parallel and keeping your left leg straight. Standing leg is most important. Think about pulling your navel back, tightening up your quad. If both legs are straight and you're kicking out, maybe you hinge at your wrists, bringing your elbows to your calf, and then maybe you can curl your forehead down, bringing your forehead to your knee. Last few seconds. And then we'll release. Bringing weight into both feet. Take a nice full cycle breath. Left side, strong right leg. Pressing right foot into the floor. Tightening up your quad, tightening up your glute, pulling in your belly, lifting your left leg, left thigh parallel to the floor, toes are flexed. Take a breath. And begin curling your way down. Grabbing at the ball of your foot. This side may be completely different than the other. It may be more accessible, maybe harder. Again, always trying. Check back in with your right leg. If it's straight and you're grabbing at your foot, Maybe you hinge your left heel forward. Again, it could be a few inches. It could be kicking all the way out, making your leg parallel. Right leg is strong and straight. Checking back in with your quad. Think about lifting your right kneecap, pulling your navel back. If both legs are straight and you're grabbing at your foot, maybe you start curling your way down, bringing your elbows to your calf, working toward one day, bringing your forehead to your knee. And then we'll release. Bring weight into both feet. Take a nice full cycle breath. One little challenge for me since I've been practicing at home is practicing on the carpet. I find it is much more difficult to get my balance on the carpet, but you know, it is what it is, right? It's a challenge. It doesn't mean I can't do it. Okay, second set, strong left leg. Pick up your right, take a breath, and begin your pose. So you want to go where you left off in that first set, and then see if you can challenge yourself a little bit. Once you really make your adjustments, check back in with your standing leg, pull in your navel, then maybe you're grabbing your foot if you haven't grabbed your foot, or kicking out if you haven't tried kicking out. Last few seconds. And then we'll release. Bring weight into both feet. Nice full cycle breath. Left side, strong right leg. Pick up your left. Take a breath. And begin. Going where you left off. Checking back in with standing leg. Really tighten up that quad. Feel your kneecap lift. Going where you left off. Maybe you kicked out in the first set. Do it again. And maybe you go a little bit deeper this time. Challenge yourself. Last few seconds already. And it's okay in that second set. If you fall out at the end, that's all right. This is how your mind and your muscle start catching up to each other. And let's release. Bring weight into both feet. Nice full cycle breath. And let's do standing bow. Starting with your strong left leg. Right palm turns out so your elbow is into your side. Left arm reaches up. When I do standing bow, I like to step forward on my left foot. If you don't like doing that, you don't have to. Reach back, grab inside of right foot or ankle. Bring your knees back together. Lift your chest. Let your right shoulder roll back. Inhale, reach up. On your exhale, begin reaching your right knee down and back. Kicking into your hand, keeping your chest lifted, your gaze is forward. Tightening up that left leg again. Pulling in your belly. Think about reaching your left shoulder toward your chin. Actively kicking and reaching. Body weight shifts forward into your big toe mound. Last few seconds. And then we'll release. Arms down by your sides. Take a nice full cycle breath. Left side. Left palm out, right arm up. You can step forward on right foot if you like. Reach back and grab inside of left foot or ankle. Knees back together. Lift your chest. Let your left shoulder roll back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, begin reaching your left knee down and back. So you're bringing it straight back rather than letting your knee wing out to the side. Reaching your right shoulder toward your chin. Pulling in your navel to support your lower back. Every inhale, lift and lengthen. On your exhale, bring your belly down. Reaching with your right fingertips, kicking into your hand. Body weight shifts forward into your right big toe mound. And then we'll change. Arms down by your sides. Take a breath. Second set. Right palm out, left arm up. You can step forward on left foot. Reach back and grab inside of right foot or ankle. Knees back together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, begin kicking, kicking, kicking. Moving with your breath. So once you get where you left off in that first set, on your inhales, lift and lengthen. On your exhales, see if you can kick higher. Because this is where, your body has that muscle memory. You know where you left off in that first set. This is your opportunity to go a little deeper, last few seconds, and then we'll change. Whoop. Arms down by your side, feet back together, take a breath. Left palm out, right arm up. You can step forward on right foot if you like. Reach back and grab inside of left foot or ankle, knees back together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, begin reaching left knee down and back. Again, go where you left off in that first set. Check into your standing leg, pull in your navel. See if you can take it a little deeper. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, kick higher, reach with your right fingertips, pull in your belly. And release. Arms down by your sides. Take a breath. Step to the back of your mat for balancing stick. Arms up overhead, fingers interlaced, index fingers extended, biceps by your ears, chin is lifted. Step forward on left foot, point right toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, begin tipping forward, lifting right leg. Keep your arms by your head. Squeeze your head with your arms. Reach your fingertips forward, reach your toes back. Pull in your belly. And then we'll change. Step your feet back together, keep your arms up. Step forward on right foot. Point left toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, begin tipping forward, lifting left leg. Keep your arms by your head. Gaze is forward. Think about reaching your chin forward as you reach your toes back. Reach, 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 human tug of war. And then we'll change. Arms down by your sides. Take a breath. Second set, Tula Dandasana. Arms up overhead. Step forward on left foot. Point right toes. Inhale, lengthen. And begin your pose. Actively reaching toes back, fingertips forward, pulling in your belly, arms by your head, standing legs straight, and then we'll change. Right foot steps forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, begin tipping forward. Trying to bring your body into a nice big capital T, keeping that long line, arms by your head. And release. Arms flow down by your sides. Take a breath. Getting ready for separate leg stretch. Arms up overhead. Take a big step out to the side, arms parallel to the floor, shoulders down and back. Look down at your feet and make sure they're pointing straight ahead and not winging out. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, hinge forward, pulling in your belly. Once you're parallel to the floor, you can hang at the bottom and relax. And maybe you hang from side to side or lunge from one leg into the other leg. Whatever works for you. Maybe you can even step wider if that makes the pose a little bit easier for you. And then we'll set up our stretch. Bend your knees as much as you need to step your heels onto your hands. Or you might be grabbing outside edges of your feet or your ankles or your big toes. First thing you want is a nice long spine. Lift your chest, pull your shoulder blades together, and then begin bringing your belly down toward your thighs as you pull up on your heels, reaching the crown of your head toward the floor, trying to straighten your legs. Body weight shifts forward into the balls of your feet. Pull, pull, pull on your heels. Lift your hips up. Straighten your legs. And then we'll change. Bring your hands back out in front of you. Lift your head. Take a couple of breaths. And then we'll come out the way we went in. Arms parallel. Step your feet together. Arms up. Arms down. Take a breath. And we'll move into tree pose and toe stand. We'll starting with your strong left leg, rooting down. Pick up your right knee, bring it into your chest, and then move into your best tree pose. That might be coming into half lotus, bringing your right heel up high on your hip or thigh, or it might be pressing your foot against your thigh or your calf or on top of your foot. But think about leveling off your shoulders, reaching your tailbone down, growing through the crown of your head. If you're moving into toe stand, bend your left knee, press your hips back, begin hinging forward. Maybe you bring your fingertips to the mat, letting your hips drop down by your left heel and your heel pops up off the mat. Trying to bring your hands into prayer, a clap counts. Toe stand release, meeting back in tree. In tree pose release, bringing weight into both feet. Nice full cycle breath. Left side, strong right leg. Picking up your left knee into your chest, moving into this, trying to do the same thing on this side that you did on the other. Maybe you're moving into half lotus or pressing your foot against the inside of your thigh or calf or on top of your foot. Moving where you can find balance without the wall, growing like a tree. So again, you're growing through the crown of your head, leveling off your shoulders. If you're moving into toe stand, begin hinging at, bending right knee, hinging at your hips, pressing hips back, lifting your right heel, shifting weight forward, hips come down to your heel, maybe you walk your hands back, bringing one or both hands into prayer. I cannot balance on this side today. So I'm going to move into another version of tree. Toe stand release. And tree pose release. Turn around and lie down in Shavasana. You can pick whichever end of your mat you like. Maybe you get a drink of water on the way down. Put your towel down on your mat. You know, I'm not sweaty and drippy, but I still like to put a towel on my mat before I lie down. I think it's just a little thing of mine. Excuse me. And let's go ahead and do wind removing. Bend your right knee, bring it into your chest, interlacing fingers on top of your right shin. Pulling your knee and thigh down toward your belly and maybe slightly to the right of your rib cage. Shoulders are back on the mat. Chin is tucked slightly, keeping the back of your head on the floor. Pressing the sole of your left foot toward the back wall as if you were standing on your left foot. And then we'll change. Lower your right leg. Bring left knee into your chest. Interlacing fingers on top of your left shin. Pulling your knee and thigh down toward your belly. Elbows are in close to your side. Shoulders back on the mat. Chin tucked. And think about on your inhales, hold. On your exhales, pull your knee and thigh down toward your belly. And then we'll change lower left leg. As soon as left leg touches the floor, bring both knees into your chest. Wrapping your arms around your legs, grabbing elbows or forearms or wrists, or you may just have one hand on each knee. Take inventory. If you're curling like a ball and your shoulders are off the mat, you need to change your grip. Maybe you have one hand on each knee. Shoulders are back, tailbone presses down, pressing the back of your neck toward the floor to really create length. So we're massaging our digestive system and getting a little bit of a hip opener, so you might feel a little pinch in your hip crease. And then we'll change, extending both legs on the mat, arms down by your sides, Shavasana. And let's do abs. Arms above your head like the touchdown sign, biceps by your ears. Bend your knees, pick your feet up off the floor and cross right ankle on top of left. So you want your knees over your hips, shins parallel to the mat. Press your lower back into the mat. Take a breath and lift. Head, chest, shoulders, arms. Biceps stay by your ears. Your gaze is toward the ceiling. Fingertips reaching back behind you. Pull your belly down so you can lift your shoulders a little higher. And then change. Lower back down. Cross left ankle on top of right. Interlace your fingers and bring your hands underneath your head. Elbows open wide. Press lower back into the mat. Take a breath. And lift. Head, chest, shoulders, elbows. Belly pulling down. Lower back presses into the mat. Elbows stay open wide. Lift, lift, lift. And change. Extend your legs on the mat. Keep your hands behind your head and then reach your hands down your back, grabbing opposite shoulder blades, head resting on your forearms. Press your lower back into the mat. Take a breath. And lift. Head, chest, shoulders, elbows. Keeping your lower back pressing down, pulling your lower belly down. Sometimes in this part, we want to pooch our belly out, but really think about sucking your belly in. And then change. Arms down by your sides, turn your palms to the mat, bend your elbows, and bring your fingertips underneath your hips so your elbows point out to the sides. Press your lower back into the mat. Take a breath. And lift. Head, chest, shoulders, elbows, legs. No weight on your elbows. Trying to bring your legs to a 45-degree angle. Keep pulling your belly down. Pressing lower back into the mat. Hold it. Breathe. And release. Arms down by your sides. Nice full cycle breath. You know, the warm weather that we're having, you're going to be having swimsuit season soon. You're going to care about those abs. Let's do our first sit-up. Arms above your head, palms together, thumbs crossed, feet flexed. Inhale, sit up. Double exhale. Out past your feet. Turn over on your belly for cobra. Bhujangasana. So your palms come to the mat underneath your chest. One way to know if you have your hands in the right place is to have your thumbs under your nipples. Chin forward. Legs are long and strong and straight. Tops of your feet on the mat. Get ready with a breath. And without pressing your hands into the floor, begin lifting your chest up off the mat, using lower back strength only. Elbows squeeze in and reach toward your waist. Pressing the tops of your feet into the floor, lift a little higher and change. Come down slowly. Turn your left ear to the mat, arms down by your sides. Take a breath. And then we'll do it again. Chin forward, palms to the mat underneath your chest, elbows in close. Get ready with a breath and begin. Very little weight is in your hands. Your hands are just there for balance, but you do want to keep them on the floor. Elbows squeeze in, reaching toward your waist. Tops of your shoulders point down slightly. Look up and release. Right ear to the mat, arms down by your sides. Take a breath. Locust. Chin forward, palms down. Roll your hips from side to side, bringing your arms as close together underneath you as you can. Chin forward. Reach your right leg back. Make it long and strong and straight, and then lift. Pressing your right hip down. Right hip presses into your arm. Your arm presses into the floor. Spread your toes, lift higher, and release. Reach your left leg back. Make it long and strong and straight, and lift. Pressing your left hip into your forearm. Your arm presses into the floor. Keep left hip down, straighten your legs, spread your toes, and release. Getting ready to lift both legs. You may want to readjust your arms, reaching your fingertips toward your knees. Mouth comes to the towel. Legs are long and strong and straight. Heels and toes together. Get ready with a breath. And begin. Pressing your hands into the floor. Lifting your legs. Lifting feet. Lifting shins. Maybe you lift your thighs. Body weight shifts forward. And release. Arms out from underneath your body. Left ear to the mat, arms down by your sides. Take a breath. And let's do a full locust, Purna Shalabhasana. Arms out like airplane wings, chin forward on the floor. Legs are long and strong and straight, heels and toes together. Get ready with a breath. And begin lengthening your spine, lifting chest, lifting arms, lifting legs, pretending like you're flying. See if you can lift your arms a little higher. Turn your palms forward, thumbs point up. Trying to bring fingertips, toes, and head to the same height. Look up, fly. And release, arms down by your sides. Right ear to the mat. Nice full cycle breath. Florba. Bend your knees. Reach back and grab the tops of your feet with your hands. Walking your knees and feet back together. Shoulders are relaxed. Chin forward on the floor. Get ready with a breath. And begin kicking into your hands. Lifting knees, lifting thighs. Chest and shoulders will peel up off the mat as you kick higher. Press your pubic bone down. Look up, kick up. And release. Left ear to the mat. Nice full cycle breath. Second set, Dhanurasana. Bend your knees, grab the tops of your feet, walk your knees and feet back together, shoulders are relaxed. Get ready with a breath and begin. Kicking, 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 pressing your pubic bone down. Body weight shifts forward into the middle upper part of your belly. Kick, 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 look up and release. Right ear to the mat, arms down by your sides. Nice full cycle breath. Press back to child's pose. Bring your hips back to your heels, arms extended forward, forehead to the mat. Just taking a moment here to take a nice full cycle breath. Realign your spine. And then come toward the top of your mat for reclining hero. Supta Virasana. Sitting back on your heels, knees together. Separating your heels just enough to sit your bottom down on the floor between your feet. Heels are right up against you, your toes are pointing back. If this is comfortable and your knees are together and on the floor, you can walk your hands back to your feet. Maybe bring your elbows to the mat. Maybe you lie all the way down. But again, be mindful here. If your knees are popping up, you're going too far. Your knees should be down and together. If you're lying all the way down, you can bring your arms above your head, grabbing elbows and tucking your chin. Breathe into your stretch. And then we'll change. Coming out slowly, but then spin around and lie down in Shavasana. Sending the blood gushing back into your kneecaps. And then we'll do a sit-up. Arms above your head. Inhale, sit up. Double exhale. Turn around for half tortoise, Ardha Kamasana. Sitting back on your heels, knees together. Arms up overhead. Palms together, thumbs are crossed. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, begin hinging forward, pulling in your belly, keeping your arms by your head. Maybe you bring your forehead to the mat first, but bringing blades of your pinkies, forehead, and tip of your nose to the mat. Elbows are lifted. On your inhales, create length, extending your arms forward. On your exhales, press your hips back. And then to change, engage your abdominal muscles. Come out slowly. Try to keep a nice long line. Arms float down by your sides. Spin around and lie down in Shavasana. And then we'll do a sit up. Inhale, sit up. Double exhale. Turn around for camel. Coming into tall kneeling, knees are hip distance apart. Hands come to your lower back like you're putting your hands in your jeans pockets. Now engage your quads. Pull in your navel. On your inhale, lift your chest and lengthen. Exhale, press hips forward. Inhale, lift your chest. See if you can bring right hand to right heel and maybe left hand to left heel. Or you may keep one hand to your lower back at a time, or you may just keep your hands at your lower back. But every inhale, lift your chest. Every exhale, press hips forward. And then we'll change. One hand to your hip at a time. Sit back on your heels. Bring your knees back together. Spin around and lie down in Shavasana. Nice full cycle breath. And then we'll do a sit up. Arms above your head, palms together. Inhale, sit up. Double exhale out past your feet. Turn around for second set, Ustrasana. Coming into tall kneeling. And if it's really difficult for you to go into this pose with your hands at your lower back or in the regular setup, try curling your toes under so your heels point up. Hands come to your lower back. Squeeze your elbows toward each other. Really reach your shoulder blades together. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, press hips forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, see if you can bring left hand to left heel and maybe right hand to right heel. Make sure you're not resting on your heels. Your fingertips should either be lightly touching or actively pulling. One more breath. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, press hips forward. And then we'll release. Left hand to your hip, right hand to hip. Sit back on your heels, bring your knees back together, spin around in Shavasana. And then we'll do a sit up. Inhale, sit up. Double exhale out past your feet. Turn around for the counter pose to camel, rabbit, Sasangasana. Sitting back on your heels, knees together, arms back behind you, ready to grab your heels. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tuck and curl. Chin to chest, rounding your shoulders, rolling your way down. Bringing the top of your head to the mat, forehead to your knees. Lift your hips up enough that you can grab your heels and pull on your heels as you lift your hips up higher, feeling that stretch down your back, actively pulling in your belly. Pull, pull, pull on your heels, see if you can lift a little higher. And release, slowly uncurl yourself, head comes up last. Turn around and lie down in Shavasana. And let's do a sit up. Arms above your head. Inhale, sit up. Double exhale. Turn around for seated head to knee. Right leg extended, left foot to right thigh. Your right toes are flexed. Arms up overhead, fingers interlaced. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, begin curling your way down, grabbing at the ball of your foot. Bend your right knee as much as you need to grab your foot, and then bend your knee even more to get your forehead to your knee, using and pressing your right heel away from you, trying to one day straighten your leg. Keeping forehead on your knee, pulling your toes back, pressing heel forward. And then we'll change, come out slowly. Switch out your legs. Left leg extended, right foot to left thigh, left toes are flexed. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round and curl. Grabbing at the ball of your foot. Bend your knee as much as you need to grab your foot. And bend it even more to get forehead on knee. Pulling your toes back, pressing your heel forward. And then we'll change, come out slowly. Both legs out in front of you, lie back for a sit-up. And then walking your hips back, trying to keep your heels planted. So you're bringing your body forward. And then bend your knees as much as you need to grab your big toes with your peace fingers and thumbs. Lifting your chest, heart extends forward, shoulder blades pulling together. If your knees are bent, you're working on straightening your legs. If your legs are straight, you can begin hinging forward. You might need to walk your hips back again, that's okay. Pulling toes back, reaching the crown of your head or reaching your forehead toward your thumbs. And then we'll change, come out slowly. And then we'll separate our legs. This morning, I sat down on the floor to put my shoes on, and I immediately spread my legs for a moment, and I thought, that stretch is gonna feel really good tonight. So that's one reason why we're doing it. So you can either grab your big toes with your peace fingers and your thumbs, or you can bring your hands out in front of you. I find it a little easier to keep my spine long with my hands out in front of me, but whatever variation works for you. Inhale, extend your heart forward. Exhale, begin hinging forward. Keeping your spine long, pulling in your belly. You're trying to one day bring your chest and your belly to the mat. But keep that nice straight spine. You're not curling forward. Breathing into your stretch. And then we'll change, come out slowly. Bring your knees into your chest, do a little upward wind removing. And then for our hip opener tonight, let's do cow face, which I find very, very difficult, by the way, but some people, it's not such a bad stretch for them, or it's a great stretch. So you're crossing your right leg over your left. And you're trying to bring your knees on top of each other and bring your knees down flat on the floor. Mine won't begin to do that, but it's still a great hip stretch for me as I'm trying to get that right hip down. So sometimes what I do is come forward, let my knees come down on top of each other, and then begin to walk my hips back, walking my hands and my hips back. So I'm still getting that nice big stretch. If this is already a great stretch for you and you're not feeling pain, you want to do cow face arms, bring your right arm up and left arm under, grabbing or bending elbows and grabbing your fingers or a towel or a strap. Oh. And then we'll switch sides. Oh, man. This time, right knee is on the bottom, left knee is on the top. Cross your left leg over. Walking your heels out, and then you're trying to bring your knees on top of each other. This side is even worse for me than the other side. But it's still a big stretch. Breathing into wherever you feel tight. Pressing your hips down. If your legs are stacked and this is just a nice stretch for you and you want to do cow face arms, bring left arm up, bend your elbow, and then bring right arm back behind you, bending right elbow. Maybe you grab fingers or a strap or a towel. Breathe into wherever you feel tight or discomfort. And then we'll change slowly. Unwrap your legs, and then we'll lie down in Shavasana. And we'll do a simple spine twist tonight. Arms out like a capital T, so they're parallel to the top of your mat. Bend your knees, bring them into your chest. And then let your knees drop over to the left. Left hand comes on top of right knee. Turn your gaze out past your right fingertips, pressing right shoulder and right ear toward the floor. Breathing into your twist. And then we'll change, come back to center. Let your knees drop over to the right. Right hand comes on top of left knee, left arm reaches out to the side. Turn your gaze out past your left fingertips, pressing left ear and left shoulder toward the mat. Twisting from your lower spine up. And then we'll change, come back to center, realign your spine, extend your legs on the mat, and we'll prepare for final Shavasana. Arms down by your sides, palms turned toward the ceiling. Closing your eyes and allowing gravity to pull you to the earth. Relaxing your feet and toes. Allowing legs, hips, and belly to melt into the floor. Relaxing your arms and fingers. Releasing any tension in your shoulders and neck and jaw. Relaxing your face. Relaxing your forehead and eyelids and lips. We'll have quiet for a couple of minutes, and then I'll tell you when your Shavasana is over. Slowly bringing your awareness back to your mat. Wiggling fingers and toes. Rolling head from side to side. Bend your knees and bring them into your chest. And then bring right arm up overhead and roll over on your right side. Using right arm as a pillow, your left arm can just come in front of you on the floor. And then pressing left hand into the floor, come to a seated position facing the front of your mat. Palms come together in front of your heart, eyes are closed. Lower your chin slightly and take your awareness back to your breath. Touching thumbs to your third eye between your eyebrows, that you may see truth. Touching thumbs to your lips as a reminder to speak truth. Touching thumbs to your heart, that you may feel and share love and truth. Thank you for practicing with me this evening. Take your yoga with you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, April.
You're welcome.
Have a
Back in
good
the
weekend.
morning. I'll be back in the morning.
Might be too early for me.
Well, you can always watch it later.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Good night. So Elizabeth, are you still there? No?